Hello and welcome to Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, for the International Canoe Federation's third Slalom World Cup of the 2014 season. Over the weekend, 286 paddlers from 33 nations have been competing in the classical 5 slalom categories. I'm Matthew Leighton, and today we're going to look at the best of the action. First off today, it's the canoe singles for women. 24 started out, we're down to the top 10. This field is very exciting, it's going to be included in the Olympics, and the depth of field is increasing all the time. One of the pioneers, 25-year-old Ros Lawrence. She is from a family of paddlers. Her sister won a silver medal in the Beijing Olympics, obviously in the kayak category. Let's see how she manages. She's one of the few paddlers that actually has mastered the art of kayaking and canoeing, and she's very at home on the big water. It's not big water today, it's fast and tricky. If you're tuning in for the first time, the idea, negotiate your way down the course in between the poles. The green and white poles mean you have to go downstream. The 6 red and white poles, where most time is lost, mean you have to go upstream. And let's see how Ros is doing here. This is number 10. She's dropping maybe a little bit low. She needs to really go for it today. In her own words, her season really hasn't quite taken off. Oh, there's a 2-second penalty. It's instantly added onto her score. But she is negotiating the tricky dual section very, very well. She's slightly low. Every paddle stroke is half a second added onto her time. This last section hasn't been tricking out too many girls. It's just a sprint for the line. It's a long sprint. The arms are going to be hurting. How's she going to do? Well, it's difficult to see, but she does move into provisional first place. Very enthusiastic crowd are out today, and here's their favourite. She's not very big, but she's a massive-hearted personality. 29-year-old Katerina Hoskova, local girl. You'll see her helping out in the race office all over the weekend. Knows this course inside out. Decides to spin, puts herself in the right position to go under 17. So far, a 2-second penalty. The home crowd are probably giving a massive advantage. Pushing through. She has got experience at the top level. By the way, she's the 2011 world champion. Dropping slightly low. It could cost her 4 or 5 seconds onto her time here for Hoskova. But crucially, she only has 2 seconds of penalties. It's certainly going to put her in the match. Well, she's outside the top position, fighting for the line. And here she goes, delighted to be on the podium. The local kids absolutely adore her. She always helps out and does a lot of free coaching. Rosalind Lawrence takes the gold for Australia. Katerina Hoskova, silver for the Czech Republic. And Nanqing Chen takes the bronze for China.
Some of the lines are pretty tight. You have to be in exactly the right spot to go through clean. I still hit one gate, but I watched a lot of the C1 guys semi-runs and really tried to stay on line everywhere, and it worked out reasonably well. But there's a really tough spot under the bridge. I was quite low in the up, so there's still plenty of room for improvement.
On for the women's canoe to the men's canoe. An international but only European field today. 3 Slovaks, 2 Germans, 2 Brits make up the numbers. You'll expect to see much more straighter lines. Benji Sošek is a local from Tacen in Slovenia. He won the race last weekend. His reputation is he goes fast and even faster sometimes. The question is, how much damage limitation can he do? Because he always hits the poles. So far, looking good. Only 2 seconds upon. Oh, there's one taken out. Doesn't matter how hard you hit the pole. It's only a 2-second penalty. He was an Olympic finalist. Oh, there's another one gone. 6 seconds of penalties now. It's going to be very, very difficult. But as I say, he is flying. 5 seconds down at the split, so he's really going to have to do something special. Coming through the tricky step. A little stopper followed by a big stopper. It's about taking the line. That is really impressive. Hugs the inside post, in and out of the gate very quickly. And it's an extraordinarily fast run. Well, he moves in the provisional place, but the pure run without penalties was less than 90 seconds. That's as fast as we've seen all weekend. Doesn't need much introducing in the community of canoeing. It's 35-year-old Michael Martikan has medalled in all 5 Olympic Games he's competed in, 2 of those winning the gold. First one in 1996 in Atlanta. They call him the ultimate competitor. He's known as God in France. What can he do today? So far his season's going very, very well. He's had the last 2 seasons which haven't really gone to plan, but in Lee Valley 2 weeks ago, he took the bronze medal. In Tatsan last weekend, he took the silver medal. What can he do today? So far, this is a masterclass of performance. As you can see from the wonderful cable cam camera, he really puts the boat in the fastest section of the river. Pointing always downstream to limit the time, and again, that's in and out, textbook stuff. Last tricky section, needs to take the up, not losing any time, and again, it's not on his favourite side, but he's in and out with precision. Forces himself over the last 30 metres, the arms are going to be burning. Can we get a smile? That is very, very impressive. As we see, not the fastest pure time of the day, but limits himself on penalties to take the provisional lead. Number 1 on his bib. That's because he's the number 1 in the world, the reigning world champion in C1 and C2 from this very course. Obviously not the same gates last year in Prague. It's David Florence from Scotland representing Great Britain. His father and uncle both represented Scotland, so it's certainly in the family blood. He's known to be powerful, a really hard worker, and knows the course inside out now. Coming up, one of the gates, in fact, that hasn't caused too many problems today so far, the up 10. But this last section, bit of luck with the water, and it's really about taking the correct line. David, if you're being hypercritical, is a couple of strokes off the pace there. Can he take the right line? One more upstream to go. That's on his onside, so he can take some time back. 2-second penalties might cost him. It's never a question of fitness with David. He's going to power to the line. Where does he stand? Well, second position, 1.87 seconds behind Martikan, who had, by the way, been given a 2-second penalties after the judges looked again at the video. But it didn't affect the result. Michael Martikan, another gold medal for Slovakia. David Florence takes the silver for Great Britain, and Benjamin Sosek the bronze for Slovenia.
I think because this was a final run, I needed to be fast, and I think many of paddlers did, again, as at the big races, many mistakes. Me as well, but I'm lucky winner.
What can't you do because you're a paddler?
I would like to have more time to make holiday and travel around the world.
I'd like to be in Brazil and watching soccer.
I'd like to go snowboarding more, but I'm afraid I'll hurt myself.
I'd love to go climbing every day and probably just go on a bit of an expedition, do a bit of exploring.
We like to ride skateboard.
I had to go to uni more. I'd like to do some more car racing maybe, but that's like what we buy in, and I like paddling heaps.
What would you like to do but you can't because you're a paddler?
Obviously nothing, because else I wouldn't be here.
We travel without a kayak and go to all sorts of places where there aren't slalom races.
Switching from the canoes where the athletes are kneeling with a one-bladed paddle to the kayaks where they're sitting down with 2 blades. Yuri Priskovec He is incredibly fast. He's the son of Yuri Priskevich Sr., a top paddler and a very, very solid coach now. Last year in the Worlds here, Yuri Jr. came second. He is the reigning European champion. In fact, he won the European Championship the last 2 years. Capable of something very, very special on his day. They're running exactly the same course as for the canoes. Taking a direct approach. Knows the water inside out. Let's see what we can do here. Well, slightly off his normal perfect lines. He's normally in and out of there on one stroke, taking 2 now. Will that affect the result? Just listen to the crowd. This is a great sight for the crowd because they're so close to the course. 250 meters in a straight line. It really helps everyone. Here we go, past the iron as they call it. Just one tricky section to go. Looks a little bit tired. The crowd are going to keep him going. Where is he? Well, he's taken the provisional lead, thanks to the crowd, but not sure it's going to be good enough for the victory. Jess Fox and Richard Fox in your picture. Hannes Egner, bitterly disappointed not to make the top 3 in the German trial, so won't be going to the World Championships, but he pretty much always makes the finals in the K1 category. And as we all know, Hannes Egner took the bronze medal in the London Olympic Games. Known for liking the big water, how can he control the non-stop, relentless buffeting of these small stoppers? Searching for the direct line. Jaws here, combination of 3 stoppers. It's really been a question of keeping over to the river right, which he does incredibly well. And look at this, he's so far clean. No fireworks, but keeping the boat dry, keeping it pointing in the direction, and crucially, keeping out of trouble with the gates. Here he goes, another very fit athlete. He won't have problem keeping going. Powers to the line. That is a really, really good, solid run. Takes the lead by over 3 seconds. This shows the strength of depth of the German team. Well, Michael Smolen, his father is one of the major coaches of the US team, born in Poland, paddling for the USA. Clearly the USA is going to be where it's all going to be happening at the end of the season as Deep Creek is hosting the World Championships. So far it's looking good. Oh, there's an error, a groan from the crowd. Shouldn't have done that. Smolen is the reigning world under-23 champion, so can handle the pressure. Not much final in the World Cup's experience, but putting together a really cracking run today. Well, he's not in first position. Maybe left a little bit with 4 seconds out there, but in hindsight, I think he'd be very, very happy with his weekend's work. Years old, what a future. Hannes Egner takes gold for Germany, Jure Priskovich silver for the Czech Republic, and Michael Smolen bronze for the USA.
Well, actually, I didn't expect that I am able to race in Prague that fast, because usually I'm fast on really big whitewater, but not on a flat course like in Prague. So I'm really happy about it that I finally managed to get on the podium here.
I'm Fabian Dörfler from Germany. I'm competing in the K1 Men's. I'm 30 years old, so I've been around for a while. I've been world champion in 2005 and been part of the tour and part of this big family. Well, it's nice to see the canoeing community being like a big family, and it's a bit like on amateur level or low budget. But of course, it would be nicer if we could grow like the skiing circus would be, like with bigger sponsors and like prize money maybe at every race. It would make it easier for the top athletes, for sure. My particular style is not like I have planned to evolve it. Like it just grew like it is now. Well, I'm always practicing new things, but in general, I'm a rather small and light athlete, so it looks like I'm a bit more on top of the water maybe than others. It makes me proud to be part of the German team, which has so many good athletes in the top 10 of the world. And well, it's a tough competition to make it for one Olympic spot every 4 years, but I'm proud of being part of the team. My targets, like for this season, of course, it's the Worlds in the US. I'm really looking forward to going to the US. I've only been there once, and it's going to be exciting. And I'll just see what I can do. And of course, in 2 years' time, the Olympics are a big goal. First, have to make the team. It's the toughest challenge at the moment, and then we'll see what will happen.
Top field is out to conquer this course in the women's kayaks. We have world champions, Olympic champions. Here's a double Olympic champion, 46 years young, from the Czech Republic, Stepanka Hilgertova. Known for her technical prowess and the way she just keeps going. She's the only athlete on the circuit now who's actually competed in all 6 Olympic Games. By the way, her son Lubos, who is a top international paddler, is getting married next weekend, so soon she might be the youngest granny on the tour. Crowd are all out for her. He'll be her coach and husband running down the course. So far it's looking good. Just 2 seconds of penalties, and the time is also very solid. I was asking her before how many medals she's won on the World Cup Tour. She said too many to remember. Keeping the line. She must clearly know this channel as well as everyone else, but the course setters have done a really, really good job of setting the natural features and challenging the athletes. Here she comes. Oh, and it's initially ranked 1. The course designers, by the way, Scott Parsons for the USA and Yuri Priskovich Sr. The course is known for being not forgiving if you miss your line. Next on the course, she's young, she's a lightweight, but known for being incredibly mentally and physically strong. It's 22-year-old German European champion Ricarda Funk. In London, she was ill. In Dachshund, she came 5th in the final. Not taking too many risks today. If you look, she's going through the middle of the gates. Nothing spectacular. Really using the water flow. Let's see how she goes on the tricky jaws section. Well, she's gone a little bit low. Punts off the wall, but does put herself in the fast-flowing water to go through downstream gate 18. Checking her line. That's better. 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 strokes, and she's out. Now it's a case of really putting the pedal to the metal and going for it. Head down, charging over the bumpy water. Wow, delight. Hands in the air, and provisionally takes first place by over 3 seconds. Well, we saw a few minutes ago Stepanka Hilgertova going for the Czech Republic. The second Czech Republic athlete in action now. It's local girl Katerina Kudyova. 2013 was the under-23 world champion, constantly testing herself against the top boys every day. She's in the same training group as Yuri Priskovich. The crowd really getting behind her, keeping the boat crucially straight. This is the tricky section where Stepanka took a 2-second penalty. In and out of it with the flow. Needs to keep the pace up over the iron. Into the top, up, That's good. It's not spectacular, maybe lost half or a full second there. Charging for the line. 24 years old. How does she do today? Provisionally moves into second place. Well, it's the first victory on the World Cup circuit for 22-year-old Ricarda Funk from Germany. Katerina Kudryova, silver Czech Republic. Stepanka Hilgatova, bronze for Czech Republic.
It's great, I can't believe it. It's my, I think, yeah, it's my best result. And just great. I'm so happy.
From the women back to the men, it's the C2 category. It's good to see a Polish crew in the final. None of them made the final last week in Tatsen. 30-year-old Marcin Pochweiler, 25-year-old Peter Stepanski. They started the season in lightning form, taking the silver medal in the Europeans in Vienna. How can they do today? They're known to have a really beautiful flowing style, always working in unison. Is that a touch though? Yes it is, gate number 8. Doing the boogie, spinning out of gate 11. We saw all the women doing that earlier in the competition. They're slightly down presently, but only have 2 seconds of penalties. Now lining themselves up for this crucial stopper section. Well, that looks good. Keeping the line to bounce over. There's a bit of a hole there. Perhaps this gate is a little bit easier for the back left, but certainly mastering the water today. Conversely, this may be a little bit more difficult for the back left. But putting only 2 seconds of penalties with this water is very impressive. Pushing for the line. And they just take provisional first place, and absolutely delighted with their performance. It's the Scanters, they're twins from Slovakia. It's been well documented that they haven't yet done an Olympic Games, but obviously with the Hochschorners winning 3 incoming bronze and another, it's not that surprising. 3 times European champions, and so far this season, they're on electric form. Won the Europeans, that's a gold. Bronze in Lee Valley. Won last week in Tatsen. What can they do today? 2 seconds of penalties, but they're throwing this boat around really spectacularly, and it's fast. Again, the boogie move coming out, setting themselves up for gate number 12. Great overhead view to see how the water's going in gate number 13. Setting themselves up for the big drop. This, by the way, here is where freestyle competitions are run. Great to see the crowd getting behind them. There's a lot of Slovakians turned up to watch this racing. Coming past the iron. Both of them really working to get the angle correct. Good for the back right, coming around the up. And now it's just a sprint for the line. How are we going to be? Well, 2.1 seconds quicker than the rest. That is really, really top paddling over 3 months for the Scantars. The Skantar cousins take gold for Slovakia. Silver for the Polish, Stepanski and Pochweiler, and Slovenia, Bozic and Talia take a well-deserved bronze medal. Well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Matthew Leighton. We'll see you soon. La Sede Gale.